Okay, class, this is your first lesson on Autodesk Inventor. So the very first thing is we're going to go and open up the software. To open up the software, you're going to go to Start, All Programs. In here, you're going to find the PLTW folder, then Autodesk, and then Autodesk Inventor Professional. It's the one with the eye icon. Make sure you click it, and it's going to take a little bit to load. So while it's loading, don't try to open it again because it is a large program, and if you open it twice, it will cause the computer to shut down. So just wait for it. It will open up, so just be patient. Okay, now that we have the software open, a couple things about this screen. Up in a new section here, we have Part, Assembly, Drawing, and Presentation. For this class, we're going to focus on two major types of drawings. We're going to focus on the part and then the assembly. The assembly is when we combine different parts together to make them attached. So for right now, though, we're just going to use the part. So you're going to click on New, Part. And again, just like the software, it's going to take a little bit of time to open up, so just be patient. Okay, now that it's opened up, this is the screen that you should see. Your drawing area. This is your drawing area. Your drawing area might be a different color than mine. I switched mine to white just so you could see it better. Yours might be gray. But either way, this is the drawing area. Up on top, this is called the ribbon, and this is where all the tools are located at. We'll use a lot of these tools that are up here throughout all the projects. Over on the left-hand side, this is where it says Model. This is our browser bar. This is kind of the history of what you have done, and notice there's nothing over here yet. That's just because we haven't done anything with the software itself. So as we start doing stuff, you'll start to see sketches and extrusions pop up here with all the parts that we create. On this side, this is our viewing toolbar. So we have what's called a view cube, and then this is all of our viewing tools. So zoom in, zoom out, rotate or orbit. We'll use these here in a couple minutes to explore what they actually do. But for this lesson, all we're going to do is create a basic shape. We're actually going to create a star. So we're going to use the line tool. We're going to learn how to sketch, and we'll learn how to make it into a three-dimensional part. So to start out, just like any drawing that we ever do in here, you have to start with a sketch. So up on top of our ribbon bar on the left-hand side, it's going to say Start 2D Sketch, and make sure you click 2D and not the 3D. So I'm going to hit 2D Sketch, and when I hit the 2D Sketch, I'm going to get this axis. So I have all these different boxes that I can click on, and just like math class, we have our XY plane, we have our YZ plane, and then we have our XZ plane. Because this is a 3D modeling program, we have the different axes on here for the third dimension. So I'm going to click the XY plane, and it's going to lay it flat. And here's my XY plane that I just clicked on. Just like math class, I have my quadrants here. So for right now, up on top of the toolbar, for our basic shape, we're going to use the line command. So you're going to click on line, and you're going to come down into the drawing area. Now, Autodesk Inventor is a click and click program, not a click and drag. So when I want to draw a line, I'm going to click where I want to start, and then I'm going to click where I want that line to end. So I'm going to start, and it doesn't matter where on the screen that you start. I'm just going to start off by making a simple star, and it doesn't have to be perfect. You'll notice mine is not perfect. So all I'm going to do is click to start, click to end. Click, and the line will stay attached. So I'm just going to do 4 of them. And again, my star's not anywhere near perfect. Yours does not have to be. So now that we have the star in place, a couple of things we have to pay attention to. When you finish the star up on top, notice that there is a green dot that shows up. This is my anchor. So, and it's going to connect, it's showing me that I'm going to connect to this endpoint. For Autodesk Inventor to actually make it into a 3D part, we need to have an enclosed geometric figure. So this figure is closed in, there's no open gaps anywhere on here. So once I have it, and once I have the drawing finished, or my sketch finished in 2D form, we have to go and make it into a 3D form. So when you're done, you're going to come up to the upper right hand, and you're going to click on Finish Sketch. And notice that it turned my star sideways. If it did not, up on your view cube, you're going to hit the home button. And this home button is your best friend. If you ever lose your drawing in the screen, if you hit this home button, it's automatically going to center everything into the center of your screen. So now up on top, we have our tabs up on top. And when you hit Finish Sketch, it should have went back to the 3D Model tab. If not, you're going to click on 3D Model. And you're going to come down here where it says Create, and we have all these different options that we can create from this part. But for right now, we're going to hit the Extrude button. And when you hit the Extrude button, most likely yours is going to look like this little toolbar. On this toolbar, if you hit the black arrow, the drop arrow, it will come into this full box, this full options box. So we can use the wheel on my mouse. If your part's too big, you can zoom out, or like I said, you can hit this little doghouse. And right now, we have this extrusion, this thickness of this part at 1 inch. So it looks a little too big. So you can kind of estimate it on your size. I'm just going to do 0.25. And now it's a little bit smaller. And that's kind of what I want. And I'm just going to go ahead and click OK. So when I click OK, this is my 3D part that I created, the star, and now I'm going to use my view cube just to practice moving around. So up on top of my view cube, I have all these different options that I can click. I can click the corner of it, I can click the edge of it, I can click the top. So this moves it to the orthographic view that I want. So if I click on front, that's my front surface. If I click this upper right hand corner, this is going to be my isometric. I'm going to click on right, so I can see all the different sides of the part. Down here is your zoom option. So if I ever get lost again in a screen, if I hit this little magnifying glass, it puts everything back in the center. The one right below it is called orbit. So if I click on it and this big circle shows up in the center, this is my orbit command. And if I click in the center and I hold it, I can move this block all the way around, so I can see all different sides, and I can keep spinning it. That way we can look at all different sides of the actual surface just with the control of the mouse. So to go back to your home view, you're going to come up and you are going to hit the little doghouse, and that's the basic tutorial of a basic shape.